When a woman is hiding something, words become her first defense. She carefully chooses them, shapes them, and delivers them with emotion, hoping you'll focus on her tone instead of her truth. But psychology always reveals one thing: lies collapse under pressure. Not from shouting or anger, but from the right questions asked calmly. A cheating woman is not afraid of confrontation. She's afraid of unpredictability. When you ask the wrong questions, she's ready. But when you ask the right ones, she freezes. Not because you exposed her, but because you made her story fall apart in her own mind. These 6 questions aren't meant to accuse. They're designed to expose contradiction. When you understand them, you'll never need to raise your voice to find the truth again. The first question is, why are you telling me this now? This sounds simple, even harmless, but it's psychologically surgical. When she's trying to explain something before you've asked, it usually means she's rehearsed a story. A guilty person tries to control the narrative before suspicion grows. By calmly asking, "Why are you telling me this now?" you break her rhythm. Her mind stalls because she doesn't have an honest reason for the timing. She was expecting doubt, not curiosity. In that pause, you'll see it: the delay, the blink, the shift in tone. The lie doesn't unravel because of your words. It unravels because of her own silence. The second question is, who were you hoping would never find out? It's a question that pierces through denial and goes straight to guilt. A faithful woman will answer with confusion. She'll genuinely not understand the meaning. But a guilty one will hesitate, laugh nervously, or deflect. This question bypasses logic and strikes a chord with emotion. It forces her mind to visualize the secret she's hiding. In that instant, her brain races for a safe answer, and that panic shows in her micro-expressions. She'll over-explain, or she'll try to laugh it off. Either reaction tells you more than words ever could. The third question is, if I already knew the truth, what do you think I'd say? This question forces her to confront her own deception without being directly accused. It puts her in a psychological trap. If she lies again, she risks deepening suspicion. If she tells the truth, she risks exposure. Her mind enters conflict, and that's when the real cracks appear. Watch her face when you ask this. A woman who's clean will smile and say, "You'd probably be mad at me for thinking crazy things." But a guilty woman will pause, her eyes will shift slightly, and she'll answer cautiously, trying to measure what you might already know. That hesitation is guilt meeting fear. The fourth question is, would you tell me if something had changed between us? This one tests emotional honesty, not logic. Women who cheat often justify it by claiming the relationship wasn't the same. So this question forces her to confront that narrative. If she's innocent, her response will be immediate, emotional, and consistent. She'll reaffirm the bond with conviction. But a guilty woman will turn vague. She'll say things like, "Why are you asking that?" Or, "What do you mean by changed?" Her need to redefine the question is her way of buying time. She can't answer directly without exposing the emotional gap she's already created elsewhere. The fifth question is, if I asked your best friend about this, what would she say? Cheating women often involve subtle alibis, friends who cover or know parts of the truth. By invoking a third person, you introduce unpredictability. She doesn't know what her friend might reveal or how much you already suspect. The question instantly destabilizes her control. If she's lying, her mind scrambles to align stories. Her tone will shift from defensive to nervous. She may even start explaining before you ask for details. A faithful woman would respond calmly, even amused, because she has nothing to fear from consistency. But a guilty one fears exposure not from you, but from someone who might not lie as smoothly. The sixth and final question is, are you happy with how honest we've been lately? This question is deceptively gentle, but it's devastating to dishonesty. It reframes the discussion around mutual truth instead of accusation, forcing her to reflect inwardly. A loyal woman will answer quickly and clearly. She'll feel safe affirming that the relationship is built on trust. However, a woman who's hiding something will often become introspective, even defensive. She might say, "Why are you asking that all of a sudden?" Or, "I don't know, I think we're fine." Her uncertainty reveals the distance between her words and her truth. It's not what she says, it's how she avoids saying it. Dr. Alina Rose explains that these 6 questions work not because they accuse, but because they destabilize lies. Cheating thrives on predictability. These questions remove it. They force her mind to think in real time, without rehearsed lines. And that's where deception collapses, inside hesitation. You're not interrogating her, you're disarming her psychology. Because guilt doesn't fear anger, it fears calm clarity. Every cheating woman prepares for confrontation. She has her explanations ready, her tone controlled, her emotions rehearsed. But she cannot prepare for insight. She cannot rehearse what she doesn't expect. When you ask these questions quietly, steadily, without tension, she loses the only power she has, the ability to control your perception. You're not meeting her lies with emotion. You're meeting them with precision. And in that stillness, her entire narrative begins to crumble. Dr. Alina Rose teaches that truth always leaks through energy before it escapes through words. So when you ask these questions, don't just listen to her answers. Watch her. Watch how she breathes before she speaks. Watch how her eyes hold yours or avoid them. Watch the slight changes in her voice, the moments where confidence gives way to confusion. That's where the real confession lives. Remember this: lies don't need to be caught. They collapse under the weight of consistency. You don't need to prove she's cheating. Her own behavior will do it for you when you stop reacting emotionally and start observing psychologically. So the next time something feels off, stay calm. Ask these 6 questions. Don't accuse, don't explain, don't rush. Let silence do the heavy lifting, because silence exposes truth faster than anger ever will. And when her stories start falling apart, when her tone shifts, when she realizes that her control is slipping, not because you shouted, but because you finally saw her clearly, she'll know that the game is over. Not because you caught her, but because she can no longer lie to a man who's awakened